Welcome back. We're going to put the roof on the garage today. It might be a short one. So let's go ahead and get to your Onshape account. Click on My Onshape up here. And you probably still have this thing that you got your trusses from before that you made a copy of, which is publicly shared copy. You need to send that to the trash. So right click on it and say send to trash. Because we need to update that. I've made some new trusses for you. So that got sent to trash. Now you're going to put in, I gave you that link in the assignment. So you're going to put in that link, go to that. It's going to send you to this publicly shared document and make a copy like you've done before. Okay, we're going to click OK. And that now is going to bring me to my account. Now I have two tabs open. You can close one of them. If I refresh, I should have that in there as it was last time. And we're going to go into publicly shared, which now you have access to. And we're going to take these trusses. And now we already did this once. So I'm hoping it doesn't jack things up. And we're going to move to document, okay, and go to your other documents and go to created by me and go to your ranch house. Now, this could be a problem if we have to do this. I'm testing this out for the first time because it's going to be named the same as whatever you have in the first one. That's it. And okay, so I'm going to get out, go back to Onshape, go into Ranch House, and yeah, we're looking good. Everything's fine. So there should be in here somewhere, there should be a house trusses, and there's house trusses. Oh, it put a copy number 1 in there. Okay, fine. So that's good. It automatically, since that was a copy, because I don't want to mess that up. So our house trusses only had those two, and the new copy of that has those. All right, so let's go back to our house. Okay. And just like last time, the ends are going to be different than the rest because those are going to be where there's going to be some piece put in. Now I'm going to put a truss up against this outside-most truss here. Even though in the real world we probably wouldn't need to do that, we would just nail on some boards that are at the correct angle that you could then nail your pieces of plywood to. But I'm going to make it a little easier on us and put a truss up there on the end. Now the 24-inch centered things might match up. We'll see what happens if they don't. Don't tell anybody because I think I messed up on the spacing of these, but rather than go back and make you redo it again, I just kept it. So let's insert. We're going to do Art Studios, and I need to find that house trusses with the 1 on it. Okay, expand that. We're going to put in the garage truss end. Find that one. Okay, go somewhere over where you can see what you're doing. Put that on. I'm going to get rid of the land or turn it off. So there we go. So we can see a little bit better. It's going to get harder and harder and harder to see things. But what I want is I want to connect that over here. So I think I'm going to zoom way in. I'm going to put my mate. This time I'm going to face it upward right in that corner. Right there. It's a little hard to see. You got to kind of zoom out and zoom in. And then I'm going to flip upside down so I can see that spot right. Oops, geez. Okay. See, it gets a little tricky. That spot right there. Now it moves, so I'm going to have to zoom out. Actually, I don't even know where I am, so I'm going to say zoom to fit, and that way. And let's look at it and make sure, yep, it's right where I want it to be. And woo, it barely came down. I didn't plan that like that. So the window is going to be barely visible right there. Kind of got lucky because I wasn't thinking about that when I designed this earlier. Boy, we would have been in trouble if that eave came down into the window. So good thing it doesn't. All right. I'm going to see if it does in the plane. Yeah, look at that. It actually does come a little bit above that window. So we're not much different than what the real plans show. All right, so here we go. We are connected there. Next thing is we're going to bring in one of the, now you can tell that my struts don't quite line up with the one above it, but that's okay. They're a little off. Okay, now we're going to insert, again, we're going to find those house trusses with the one next to it. We're going to do the house truss main this time. Oh, sorry, not that. I'm going to hit escape. I'm sorry, the garage truss main. Okay, now we're going to do the same idea of what we did before. For temporarily, I'm going to go to the last thing I have, or I just put that one in. I'm going to turn off this last truss that I put in for just a minute so that I can see what I'm doing. We're going to do the exact same thing again and offset it this time. Okay, so we're going to zoom way in to get that spot right there facing up. Flip upside down. Find that spot. It's on this. Sometimes it's hard to see if it's going the right direction because we definitely don't want that surface. So, oops, dang it. That is not what I meant to do. This time I'll do it backwards and I'll do this one first. See, I've done this a long time and I still get messed up. So I understand when you guys have difficulty with it. Here we go. All right, now I need to offset that in the X direction. Okay, 24 inches. Because remember, our trusses are every 24. No, it's not going to be 24. It's going to be 23.25 because I didn't go to the middle. If I had gone to the middle, it would be 24, but I went to the edge. So it's 23.25. You did it exactly how I did it. Now, let's do a measurement here. Measure. And I'm going to go from that little point right there. Oops, I got to turn back on that other truss. So I'm going to measure from that point right there to that point right there. Should be, it's 22.7 and a half. And let me make sure I got my math right. Okay, so actually I'm thinking, I hate that I have to zoom out to measure again. All right, we're going to try that again, and this time I'm going to go from the inside. So measure from the inside to the inside again, and that should be 23.25, right, because 24 would be to the middle. So if we add 3/4 to that, we're golden. Okay, good. Do make sure that that is in the right spot. All right, and now we're going to pattern that last truss. So let's say I want a linear pattern. I want to, my instances are going to be this main truss. We are going to go in a direction of along that way, and we're going to do it every 24 inches. And my instance count, I can click on it and then roll until it gets the way I want it. Oh, going the wrong way. Flip. Zoom out a little bit so I can Roll until we are almost to the end. Now we're going to have an extra one out here, and that's okay. I do want it stronger on the open end than up against the house, because this is where things can be stronger against the edge. So good. And finally, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the that last end. All right, let's put on that last end. Insert. Go find house trusses with the one. Let's find the garage truss end. And this time we're going to do the opposite corner. So we'll do our fixed to that corner and flip around to that corner. I'm doing the green check mark without seeing, because I think I'm all good. Now it's okay that those are too close to right next to each other, because if you went more than that, you'd have too far of a span. So you have to have two of them in there, and you can't have just say, oh, well, let's center this one, or why don't make them equal distances, because the end of the plywood then wouldn't line up, right? So the point is that it has to match your sheathing, right? Your plywood. And the other thing I want you to notice about this is that remember similar triangles? Oh my God, it's geometry and construction. If you take a look, these triangles that the roof makes are similar, because that's what looks good. If this, let's say this had a higher peak height so that your lines weren't parallel, it would really, people don't like the look of that. It does not look good. So having those roof lines be parallel to each other is on purpose. It is there to make a look and have it look, like it all goes together. That's kind of why we have all the roof heights are at the same height. All the windows are all the same height. It's all for the aesthetics of the thing. All right, guys. It's kind of a short day today, because part of it is, honestly, I was a little bit behind. So let's go ahead and turn off the land, just because it's getting in the way. Get a little bit closer like that. We're not going to put in hurricane ties, because you already learned about that. And keep it like that, and get it to where you can kind of see all those trusses, something like that. I know it's getting messy, but it's looking good. And turn that dude in. All right. We'll see you next time when we start talking about the patio and interior walls and stuff. All righty then. See you next time.